Welcome back to the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report here on Masson. It's the 6th annual Trick-or-Trot 5K 1-mile walk at Baltimore's Camden Yards this Saturday. 5K starts at 8 a.m. The 1-mile walk starts at 8:05. Of course, the hosts are Angela and Buck Showalter. Registration fee through today is $35. On race day, it's $40. And it's a wonderful event. And joining us now is Angela Showalter, who is one terrific lady. I mean, I saw you there at the final weekend of the season, Angela, before we talk about this race. You were just wonderful talking to all the people in the press box and surrounding everybody and thanking them and all. It's very impressive what you do at the ballpark in your spare time with everybody. It seems like you just love being out there.
Well, you know what? The part about that makes it so easy to do is there are great causes all around the world. But this is a cause that we've chosen to be, very passionate about. So, you know what? If you're gonna be passionate about it, make sure you go passionate every day.
Angela, give us an idea of what the actual charity does and how the money's, not necessarily how it's dispersed, but I understand it's KidsPeace actually has 2 or 3 charities that it actually funds inside of that one organization.
That's correct. There's several different entities. This will all be for the Maryland, D.C. area for kids in foster care. We emphasis on therapeutic foster care. And then also another phase of that is kids who are aging out soon to age out of the foster care program. In the state of Maryland, it is 21. So we are, try to prepare those kids as best we can to, proceed in life without anyone as a sounding board advice, a mom, a dad, even though their foster care parents want to, would allow them to stay in the home. The rulings are that child has to leave the home, and I say child, they're young adults. But so there's still big decisions that they're about to face to make and getting them ready for that.
Angela, as you said, there's a lot of different charities. What is your connection to KidsPeace? How did you guys select this?
Well, when Buck and I first came to the area, we were at a part in our life where our kids were off to college and, still very much a part of our lives. But I knew I had more time to focus in getting involved, so I wanted to find something to get involved with to fill in that empty nest syndrome. As a lot of people like to say, your nest is never empty, I found out. But so I just kind of had, put the word out of some things, and this organization, KidsPeace, was given to me, and I had never heard of it, and then more shocked to find out that, it's now a 130-plus-year-old organization, which is amazing when you've never heard of this. And then it just kind of ended up coincidentally that my parents had taken in some kids on the weekend from time to time for kids who were in foster care home facilities and not in homes, had not been assigned families, and it was a perfect fit because I had seen what those kids' lives were like.
Well, Angela, we appreciate you coming on with us for a few moments. I know Buck's on another phone line, so we're going to flip over to Buck and chat with him for a few moments here. And Buck, welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Sports Report. First off.
Pretty impressive, huh? It's pretty impressive.
I want to tell you something, Buck. You're a very lucky man. She's a terrific
I know.
lady.
I just hope she doesn't get her eyesight fixed at any stage in our marriage.
The last weekend of the season, she's saying goodbye to everybody and thanking them all at the ballpark. I mean, excluding this charity function that you're involved in this weekend. I mean, she's the most outgoing, wonderful person to talk to everybody in the ballpark.
I appreciate that, Tom. It's such a reflection on her parents and the way she was raised, but she's been special for me. I just she's a lot better at goodbyes than I am. I hear around people since February, a whole year, and then it's just so abrupt. The season's over, and you wake up the next day. It's sad, and she's so much better at that than me. I hate saying goodbye to people I care a lot about, and I hate saying goodbye, period, as she's told me many times.
Buck, this is a time where you get to spend a little bit more time with your family than obviously during the season, but give us an idea of what it's like for a Major League manager such as yourself from now until, say, the winter meetings. Obviously, the playoffs and World Series are going on, but what else are you doing organizational-wise for the Orioles that I know that you got to have to keep your hands into it?
Well, I'd rather be doing what Ned Yost and Terry Collins are going to be doing tonight, and it's hard for me to watch.
Sure.
I'm a participator. I'm not a watcher. I'll watch my share of events, but you really want to go, gosh, how'd they do that? I'd like to be a participator and I'd lot rather. I was hoping we could put this race off for a week because of the World Series, but we haven't. But there's so much, David. You know that there's so many things. Wheels are turning, and sometimes the things you do between the last pitch and spring training are so instrumental. Some moves that look to be very small. We have really 7 potential free agents, and we're going to do the right thing, and they're going to have to make a decision at some point whether they want to stay or not. We'd like to keep them, and Dan's grinding it up in the front office like everybody else. I'll be back. I come and go. I'm there more than I am here, and it's really after the World Series is over, and a lot of things are going to really start moving real fast. Baseball intentionally kind of shut things down so the focus is on the World Series, and so once that last pitch of the World Series is thrown, you're going to see a lot of people doing what they do. Front offices, it's the key time for everybody. And the winter meetings are around the corner in Nashville, Tennessee. You guys ever try to go around Opryland Hotel and try to make deals? That place is bigger than any place. That's tough. But I talked to Dan today. We were talking about a potential move, and we do it every day. So it's not going to be from lack of grinding it and trying it. We've got a lot of good people in the front office that are doing what they do right now.
Buck, what's a manager's role in bringing back somebody like Chris Davis? Did you talk to him at the end of the season? Have you talked to him? What is a manager's role in trying to bring back Chris Davis?
I walk by Chris every day. I try to talk to everybody at some point. And, communication not always saying, hello, how are you? Sometimes it's saying, what's on your mind, and he on mine. I know Chris wants to come back, and he's going to have to make a decision because we're going to, I think we'll be competitive, and it's just depending on what they, he has, what happens when guys leave at the end of the year, then there's a constant conversation with the agents and with their peer group and with the players union. They don't want certain things to get away from because it messes up arbitration numbers. I know how this all works. That's why once they walk out of the locker room, there's some different things show up. But I try to leave the guys alone as much as I can in the off season because they need to get away from it. But J.J. Hardy and his wife just had a new baby, which is great. But Chris, I talk. He knows where we stand, how much we want all these guys back, whether it be Darren O'Day or Wei-Yin Shin or whatever. And at some point, they're the ones that are going to have to make a decision about, do they really want to stay in Baltimore and how much is enough? And they're right. They've earned that right. And we're going to, it's not like you feel like, do you like me, yes or no? And if you don't like me, I'm not going to like you. We're going to respect and like them regardless. But we're trying to keep them, and if we don't, the baseball world won't quit turning. And I not laugh, but every year they say, oh, my gosh, that team will never survive without that. We scored more runs this year we did last year without Markakis and Cruz. And it's not my job to sit here and lament things that may not be here. But we're hoping they are here, and we're going to prepare for that and without that.
Well, the first move the ball club made personnel-wise, they picked up Vance Worley in a deal with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, he's had better success in the National League than the American League, but what's your take on the acquisition of Worley?
Well, if you compare it to the we took off the roster, our people, and everybody just felt like that he had a better chance to impact our team at some point next year than Rondon did. And that's the way the musical chairs work this time. Pittsburgh thinks he might pitch well in the National League with another star. He's got a big arm, and Worley has good pitchability, and some people at 28 to 27, 28, 29 start figuring out a little bit who they were and who they are. This guy was, opening day starter for somebody at some point in the big league. So, we're going to take a look at it and see if it's an upgrade. Every chance we get to upgrade a little bit more, we thought that he was an upgrade over Rondon, and we'll see if we were right.
Buck, 6 different teams in the playoffs this year from a year ago. How much has sabermetrics played a part in maybe balancing out the teams in Major League Baseball so that there's not like 1 or 2 dominant teams like there were in yesteryear?
I don't know, sabermetrics. It depends on what you're saying sabermetrics has done to make it more of a level playing field. I don't go along with that necessarily because just about everybody's embracing some form of it. It just depends on how deep you're embracing it and what is it. What do you define it as? Each organization is different. Once you take the cloak off this, which we've done with analytics for dummies, it's not really that complicated. It really isn't. And because many times I'll go show this to a veteran guy and he goes, oh, is that all that is? Well, I got that. Most of the time it's just verifying what your eyes and your gut tell you. It's not the rocket science that people make it out to be. The guy's hitting the ball over here 7 out of 10 times in play then you put a guy over there. Hey, you're real complicated, guys.
Buck, I want to go back to the race on Saturday for a second. You are encouraging people to wear Halloween costumes. Are you going to wear a costume, and what's the best costume you've seen?
Hey, I said all day, I walk around with a permanent costume. You looked at me lately? I don't know. What would I be? What should I go as? What do you got?
Well, I would go, if I were you, I would just go traditional. I'd go a little vampire with some blood on your face and very white in a black cape. That would be my suggestion. You would look very good at that.
Or you could go as yourself from a couple of years ago and use a cane.
I was trying to think today. Someone asked me this last time I went in costume to something Halloween. I think it was back when I was a little boy, you know, with the cape tied around your neck. And I think I did a combo Superman Popeye where I had the spinach can, but yet I still did the Superman thing, and I think I almost broke my ankle in the backyard. My mother wasn't too happy.
So, Buck, all the coaching staff is back, at least for the most part anyway. So, obviously, you had some positive thoughts on that. Are you glad the guys that you wanted back are back here?
Well, I want, you know, this is a real strength. This is a quality coaching staff. You know, we've made so many strides in that area that it's, you know, they have a great heart about it. They got a pure heart. There's no agenda. They stay focused on their people, and they make guys better. And I much as I think we were as good as we were capable of being, barring injury, and that's what all thing I'm asking. And I think that you know, we're going to tweak a couple things with the hitting because it's such the job nowadays is so it's so taxing that you know, Anar does a great job for us, and we're going to try to give him and Scott a little help. And that's about it. But I think it's a strength of ours. It's great to have that in the fold and the support to bring these people back. Because, believe me, they were coveted, and there were a lot of people came after them, and we were fortunate to return them because we think it's a strength, and I know the players feel that way.
So, Buck, it's the 6th annual Trick-or-Trot 5K 1-mile walk at Baltimore's Camden Yards this Saturday, 8 o'clock. 5K, 1-mile walk starts at 8:05. And, of course, you're going to be hosting along with Angela, and it looks like it's going to be a good time by all.
How's the weather? You guys are in charge of the weather now. We're headed up there the day after tomorrow. I'm going to stay a while. I'm looking forward to it, seeing everybody. So I appreciate the voice you guys give us with this. It means a lot to us. I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon again. We appreciate you stopping by and talking with us.
Thank you.
All right, Buck Showalter and his wife Angela are talking about the big race this coming weekend. It starts at Camden Yards and ends at Camden Yards. And the only question I have about the entire thing, 5 minutes apart for the 5K versus the 1 mile. I mean, you know, that's a lot of people to get out there on the course.
Yeah, but the first people are running. Second people are walking. You'll be in that second group.
That's right. That's right. I'll never forget the late Glenn Brenner said one time at the start of the Boston Marathon, when they fired off the gun and everybody started running, he says, imagine trying to tie a loose shoelace when they all started off. I'll never forget that line because it could be very difficult. You could have about 1,000 people tripping behind you if you wound up with a bad shoelace there. But anyway, look, the Showalter's doing an amazing amount of work in the community and all. And of course, obviously, Buck's brought a lot of success to the Orioles franchise. And when you look back at what they do, I mean, they really are just nice people that have done a very good job. And Dave, when you look at it, it's a nice event for the public to participate in this.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, like, I don't know. I only know from the managers that have been here, but it just seems like Buck and Angela are more involved. Maybe we talk about it more, maybe not. Maybe they are just more involved, but they seem to be involved in the community more so than some of the other, husband and wife teams that have been manager and I guess first wife, so to speak, of the club. So I think when you look at what they do and how they talk about it, Angela obviously is and I think Buck, even in her TV commercials, they're passionate about this because Angela was in a situation to where she talks about the whole, in foster care and all those different things too. So, yeah, it's just good to have people that are leaders in the community and be able to go out and do some of those things. And I guess, if nothing else, mingle with the common folk, and for a terrific charity, obviously. Again, it's the 6th annual Trick-or-Trot 5K 1-mile walk at Baltimore's Camden Yards this Saturday. 5K starts at 8 a.m. The 1-mile walk starts at 8:05, and of course, Angela and Buck will co-host that. The registration fee, if you can get in there by today, $35. On the day of the race, it's $40. So a good time by all. Make your plans now to participate this coming Saturday as the race begins, or the walk begins, at Baltimore's Camden Yards and also ends there.